Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, and my name is Jerry Dovey, but it doesn't matter tonight. Tonight, oh my Lord, look, it's a long, convoluted story, but understand that I'm a fanboy of this woman right here, Cheryl Cooley, from Climax, meeting in the ladies' room, Papa Taco. I used to try and match that heartbeat thing that I couldn't never get his baby ticks ever. You know what I mean? Meeting in the ladies' room. I miss you. Oh my God. Look, during the heyday of, I don't know what they want to call it, Morris Day, Prince, Climax, these were the people who broke through first on that platform that didn't want us there. Thank you, David Bowie, for what you did in opening the doors for our artists to hit MTV because they weren't playing us. She's my cherry pie. No. We have a song where I could tell my girl, I miss you. I'm deployed. You know what I mean? Meet me where I'm at. How about that? Anyway, what? I told you I'm gonna get him. Get him. I get to talk to a living legend, an icon, part of the female wave that turned the entertainment industry on its ear, from film to breakdancing to helping to launch benchmarks that created a worldwide spread of hip hop as they sampled these iconic songs, these forever songs, to take a movement global, a culture global, along with, Timex Social Club, Club Nouveau, Climax. These are our legends, and we get an opportunity to talk to them. Thank you. This gray hair is very happy. It's my show. I can do it the way I want to. Anyway. What? What?
A night like that. Okay.
It's gonna be one of those. Yeah. As Steve Harvey used to say, I'm finna tear your mouth out. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be laughing. It's gonna be good. Look, in all seriousness, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your intestinal fortitude to stick with it and navigate this maze and take the abuse for the ladies who are taking advantage of it on the business side. Climax was the first female group to really go national. I was in Kansas. Now, she may have been heard of in New York. She may have been heard of in the cultural centers, but in middle America, Climax was it. Just saying. Cheryl Cooley, guitarist extraordinaire, songwriter, producer. Welcome and thank you.
Oh gosh. Wow. Oh,
Was that too long-winded? I'm sorry.
I need to take a seat and see her too after that introduction. Like, woo, what do we see? Well, thank you.
Early on in my career, we were talking about it off video, and I told I'll give it a real quick. Early, before I even started doing PR and became a journalist, I was producing shows and things, and also was a club man. And one night, Cheryl Cooley's on our stage. I was not working that night.
Oh,
I got paid, but I was sitting there watching the show. I'm like, having watched this icon, this amazing person, this amazing artist, musician, entertainer, on MTV, and then here she is in my face, bruh, I would have lost 3 jobs that night because I was going to watch this show.
oh.
She did a whole medley of the Climax hits and some other stuff. And, I was, very impressed. I was sweating, but it inspired me to, want to talk about music. I can't play it. I even mess up Mary Had a Little Lamb, maybe 4 notes in Mary Had a Little Lamb. But I messed that up. So, but it inspired me to want to talk about music and enjoy it. And up until that point, I never thought that I would be able to live a dream like this. I was a military kid, you know what I mean? So I went back, retired, boom, boom, boom. But at the beginning stages, one of my inspirations was Cheryl Cooley on the stage, Hollywood Park Casino. I can't recall the year, but it was nearly 20 years ago. And here I am. I get an opportunity to speak with you. Thank you once again. Anyway, I'll let you talk now.
You definitely have a radio voice because you got me mesmerized. Like, wow, he really talks like that.
Yeah, this is actually the way I talk. I'm sorry. Thank you for the compliment.
Beautiful. I mean, I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, from the inside looking out, you have traveled a long way. You have opened a lot of doors, not just an artist, not just a creative, but, a supporter of women and initiatives that not only affect women, but the sons of women who can learn to appreciate our women better. In this journey, can you step outside real quick and give me a reflective and from the inside looking out, tell me how you see Cheryl Cooley?
From the outside.
From the inside looking in.
From
From
the
the inside
inside
looking out.
from the
Inside
inside looking
looking
out.
out. Yeah.
I'm grateful to whatever energy, power that has put us all here together. We all have a divine name for it, whatever that is.
Right.
Putting me in a place and a space of to have a dream come true. Even when dreaming it, I didn't have the details. But one day waking up and realizing I'm living that dream that I didn't understand as a young child. I have always looked at my life as, I guess you could say, a puzzle that's all the pieces fall into place. Oh, there may be some stumbling blocks, I guess, learning blocks, problem, I still look back and think, oh, that's why that had to happen, which seemed tragic at that time, so that it could manifest into this other thing here that was much, much more bigger.
Right.
Than it could have been had I not had that stumbling block.
Right.
And for that, if I was laying on my deathbed right now, I would have a smile on my face that I lived a life that, as a child, not having the wherewithal to know what it was I saw and felt, I did live it. I stepped into my dream. It was a dream come true. Because but in addition, my parents, for whatever reason, every other Christmas, they used to buy me a toy guitar. No one in my family played any kind of musical instrument. No musical, nothing at all. But it was just like one of those things, I'll put a guitar under the Christmas tree. And because of that, it intrigued me. And when I saw the guys on TV, bands playing a guitar, like, wow. First thing I said was, that's what I want to be when I grow up. No idea how, what, when, where. It just looked like that was me. Because at that time, there were no women playing guitars. There was no, women playing in a band. I mean, they were singing, trio singing, whatever.
Right.
But in a band, there was no manifestation of that at that time. So looking back, I understand now why that vision or that feeling and that vibration happened. Because here I am, the manifestation of that journey.
Wow. Were you aware enough at the beginning to archive that benchmark moment that set you on your way?
Benchmark. No, because it was a series of occurrences.
Okay.
It really was. It was there are so many players in the script, my life script. So many different players that played their part in my life script for me to be that.
Wow.
You know, like I said, no one in my family, mother, father, sister, and I.
Right.
That's my family.
Right.
No one played a musical instrument. So, I mean, I can't even say I stepped outside the box because everybody in my family had their own creative artistry, I guess you could say. My mother was a tailor, seamstress. She could make anything she saw, she could sew it together. My father, he was an artist. He could paint, he could draw, he could carve. You know, it was just spectacular how he could make things just be, realistic on paper. My sister, she went to Juilliard's school in New York to become a choreographer. And then here comes Cheryl. Got that guitar. So everybody had their creative something, but it didn't intertwine with the other.
You know,
so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but we didn't see ourselves as being creators, maybe being creative, but not being creators in the sense of setting in motion those talents to become more of, or ... Sorry about
we live, y'all. We live.
Sorry about that. I forget my phone and my computer are kind of all tied together.
It's all good. I'm just teasing you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I have several here and a couple of things going on and some stuff out there. Look, they send me, they just send me stuff. Try this, try that. Use this, use that. Fender sent me a freaking guitar. This is they sent me what is Olympic Pearl Strat.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's only like $1,100 guitar, and then they gave me a scholarship to the Fender University to learn how to play the guitar. That was 2 years ago. Thank you, Fender. Didn't work out. I'm really not musically inclined, no matter how much help you give me. And
that's okay. You have many other talents. I mean, I couldn't read all of that on the website. I was like, I can only go so far here.
That's the synopsis of my life. You know what I mean? That's because really, I really like started street team level, and my career started in the mailroom of CAA.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I was pulling bios and headshots and putting together the press kits that we actually mailed or faxed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Wasn't no EPK.
Right.
Oh, better get early to the post office and kick rock. EPK, I got you, EPK. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where I started, and so I'm watching, going from a straight consumer to on the fringes and getting a little whiff here, a little whiff there. I always want to know, the benchmark moments that make people turn the corner, to become the superstars, these leaders, these innovators. Man, and I didn't find out till it was way late. I mean, I got my motivation, but hey,
But some part of me, I mean, I just knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that one day I was going to be a star. I didn't know how it was going to happen, where it was going to happen. I just kept looking for it. So, almost like waiting for the world to catch up to my vision.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, there were times, I mean, I had to catch the bus to go to college to, study for my music degree. And I'm looking on the bus, waiting for the person to get on the bus, going, hey, sure, I got a contract for you. Come on.
Please let it happen. I heard you. I heard you. So college, where'd you go?
I went to Los Angeles City College.
Okay, okay, okay.
And at that time, that was the only place I could go to get a degree in commercial music.
Really?
They were transitioning from classical study, to more what do they call it at that time, commercial or pop, but not pop like we understand it. Yeah,
yeah.
like popular or because at that time it was classical or junk.
Wow.
I mean, that's the way the teachers were. Classical music, or I'm sorry, jazz. Okay, we can deal with jazz, but that other stuff, no, you wasting your time. But that's all I knew. I was a funketeer. I was a funkster. I mean, I played guitar. I mean, I'm telling you, when I saw bands like, I don't know, Sly and the Family Stone, Earth, Wind and Fire, Confunction, Lakeside, when I saw those bands, I was hooked.
Wow. Okay. So guitar, you started. Do you play any other instruments? Did I see drums?
Well, I try not to.
Okay, yeah. Try not to. Hey, but you master the guitar, you make that joke a talk. I love it. Hey, Prince, she over there. She's slaying. She's slash Cheryl Cooley. You know what I mean? Come on, buddy. Come on, pull Cheryl on up there. Come on, buddy guy and friends. Come on, slash and friends. Come on.
I gotta tell you this one story. Just what you're talking about right there. So I was playing at we'll probably get to this, but at some point in my life, I actually did stop playing guitar and became an electrician, and then got back into music. That's another story. Because there was a reason for that. So I'm gonna get back to that. But anyway, I was playing in this top 40 cover band at a club, and the way you walk in, you have to pass the band, and it's like a little short type stage.
Right.
And so I'm on stage. We're playing, funk music. We're playing stuff that's been on the radio. These guys walked in, and I don't know if this is relevant, but I'm just gonna say, they were Caucasian, and this little black girl in a band with a whole lot of other races up there, and they walk in, they hear me playing, and they're just like, that can't be. One of them had the courage to walk up on the stage, put his ear to my amplifier, walk back off the stage to his friends and say, yeah, she playing.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a what the F moment if I ever. How did you hold that together?
I kept playing.
He done invaded your space.
Well, I kept playing.
Challenged your professionalism and your integrity.
I wasn't intimidated. It was like, dude, you got to do what you got. I mean, it's at a club, so anything could happen. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel. I just like, oh, please help yourself. I don't know.
Wow. Over this last 11 years with the Hype magazine, I've heard a lot of WTF moments. That one, never. Approach the stage?
Hell yeah.
Get close enough to get to the amplifier of the lead guitar? Try that again. Try that 2023. What? Oh my Lord. So you kept your composure.
Oh yeah. I'm having fun. I'm doing my thing. So dude, if you don't believe it, yeah, do what you gotta do. I'm gonna keep playing this. I'm gonna keep playing this F minor sharp 9 chord.
There you go. There you go. I do got a degree in music, Playboy. Feel me? Step back. Give me 50 feet. Anyway, but wow, what y'all know we talk about over the years, we have had WTF moments on the Hype Magazine live sessions. Never anyone trying to validate what's coming out of the amplifier. The other friend was probably watching your fingers while the other person had their eyes off you listening to the amplifier.
Right.
Well, did the fingers match the strokes? Did it match the keys? Did it match the chords? Yeah, she's doing it, bro. That's her. Wow. And then, and then come on to become an international sensation.
Yes. Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that circle, you, Morris Day, Candy, and what was that? The Mary Jane Girls? Yeah. The Mary Jane Girls.
Yeah.
That era, from the West Coast. West Coast made a difference in the fabric of music culture worldwide on many, many levels. Shout out, this is Hip Hop 50, the end of the 50th anniversary of hip hop, birthday of hip hop. I appreciate it. But if we take a look at what Dre is sampling, what Battle Cat is sampling, our LA producers are respecting, the trickerations that the old live bands of musicians used to put down, and they're applying it to today's hip hop. It still lives.
Yeah.
You're not going to a party, New Year's, Christmas, or whatever, with people who are 45 or older, and Meeting in the Ladies' Room don't come on. The Soul Train line ain't popping off. You know what I mean? The belly rubbing music. Miss, don't make me sing. I can't sing, but I can't. Did you have an idea when you put the group together? And we're going to get into it because you did step away, and I have to ask the basic media questions that everybody, their cat, uncle, and dog has already asked you, and then we'll get into some other stuff. You know what I mean? So, putting the crew together, can we please, know how that happened?
Sure.
Because the VH1 didn't really do justice.
Well, but they got to sell hype. They got to sell drama. That's how they make their money.
Right.
I know. So, like I said, I went to college, got my degree in commercial music. I'm playing with a few different bands here and there, still the idea of I got to be in the right situation because, I'm looking for that contract. I'm looking to make it. So I'm playing with a band, and, we're in the rehearsal room, and the rehearsal room has this little window that you can kind of look and see who's in there. And I see these girls kind of taking turns looking in this little window. And, I'm kind of, I'm trying to pay attention to the rehearsal, but it's a little distracting what's going on here.
Right.
And so, I don't know, maybe it was a pause in the music or something. And they just busted in the rehearsal room and go, hey, you don't want to play with this band. You want to play with our band. We have an all-female band called Climax. So, being that I had, been around some professional people and had my degree, I just could feel that they weren't at the level that I was at. So, at that time, no cell phone, so we were exchanging numbers, or that I should say their number. I don't know if I gave mine, but they gave me theirs, and I didn't call because I knew they're not where I want to go. Then that little small voice that talks every once in a while when you ain't doing right.
Yep.
You should have called them, Cheryl. Go ahead and call them. I'm like, I can tell they're just not. Nah, you better call them. Call them now. So like I said, it was not the cell phone day, so I had to call on the regular telephone. Hey, sorry I missed your rehearsal. When's your next one? oh, it's tomorrow. I'm like, oh,
Gotcha.
okay, I'll be there. So I got to the rehearsal, which was again at the same rehearsal hall. And, the energy, they were having fun, hee hee, ha ha, all little girl stuff, and, got the instruments together and we started playing, we started just kind of playing around, they showed me some songs that they knew and I was trying to show them something I knew. Again, it wasn't like the musical level was where I was at, but they were having fun. It wasn't laborious like the other bands I had, because it was like, do the rehearsal, get the gig, do the rehearsal, get it was like they were there to have fun, to play, to make music. And at that time, we had two guitars, a bass, drums, and I don't and a conga percussion. And they were having fun, but it wasn't at the musical level that I was expecting or wanting.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the rehearsal, I didn't have the courage to tell them I wasn't coming back.
Mm. Like, I can't let them down. Okay.
I mean, for me, how do you tell somebody, you really suck, I'm not coming back? I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't. So it's like, well, so our next rehearsal is da 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 da. I'm like, okay.
And bang. That.
So I went to the next rehearsal. They decided to make me the music director, of course. And so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm writing out parts and I pass them out. And I say, okay, we're getting ready to hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody just like doesn't do anything. And I think, did I write it wrong? And I'm like, I know I didn't write it wrong. It hits me. They don't know how to read.
Mm.
Now here I've been spending all these years teachers beating me down. You got to know how to read. What I didn't tell you about my history is my sister, who's 16 years older than I am, was married to a jazz musician by the name of Hubert Laws. And hanging around him and the Jazz Crusaders and Mongo Santa Maria, they would tell me, if you don't know how to read, you're not going to eat. If you don't know how to read, you're not going to eat. I used to hear conversations about how they would mock George Benson because he couldn't read. But these guys, they could do jingles, TV commercials, they could do all these things because they could read. So that's how they ate. So here I am with this programmed in my head. I got to know how to read, but they don't know how to read. What do I do now? Again, I don't want to embarrass anybody and I don't want to tell them, you guys suck. So I put it on myself. I say, maybe I wrote it wrong. Let me show you what I wrote. And I showed everybody their parts, and really the music started to gel together. The energy, the fun, some mistakes were made. We'd laugh at it, fix it. It was just like kids on the block playing together.
Okay.
And that's what kept me coming, because we were having fun. And yeah, I mean, we learned songs at the very early stages. I was the lead vocalist and playing guitar at the same time. Later, we added a lead vocalist. We added a keyboard player, and none of us knew each other before we walked in that room.
Really?
Everybody has their life story, how they ran into Climax, ran into this rehearsal room. We put ads in the papers that sold used furniture, refrigerators at the time, looking for a keyboard player. We got the keyboard player, and the lead vocalist had auditioned for Rolls Royce, and they said, you sing a little strong for us. Maybe you should try this other group over here, Climax. They're looking for a vocalist. So everybody has those kinds of stories. It's as if, like I said, that whatever divine energy thing just kind of threw us together. And here we are, all of a sudden, we're an all-female band. Nobody's done this, as far as we're concerned, as far as, a black all-female band. Now, a rock band, yeah, there was one before us. I don't know what they were called, the Runaways or something. I think they were early 70s or something. But here we are, an all-girl band, and people are, looking in the window again at us like, there's all girls in there. How does that happen, And it was living a dream. Living a dream. We rehearsed, got better and better. And I happened to be working at a bank at the time, and I was telling my supervisor about this all-girl band I was in. She said, hey, well, if you give me a demo tape, a bio, and a picture, that sounds familiar, right?
Yeah, it does.
I'll give it to my uncle, who's a producer for Peebo Bryson. His name is Johnny Pate. I said, oh, okay. So I go back to rehearsal. I said, we got to get this demo tape together, and, we got to take a picture. And, so we were getting all these parts together because that's what we wanted to do was, kind of send it out and see, what record company would pick us up. Because at that time, that's how you did it. You send your package out, somebody picks it up, makes your recording arts. So we make this package and we take it to him, and he doesn't like it. Again, though, when one door closes, that does not mean another door won't open.
Right.
So even though he didn't like it, he happened to be having lunch with a lady by the name of Margaret Nash, who was one of the vice presidents of Solar Records.
Okay.
He said, I know this all-girl band. They're not that good. But she said, all-girl band? Let me hear it. So she's, took the package. She listened to it. She loved it. She called me the next day and said, when is your next rehearsal? I want to come see you guys. She came to rehearsal. She liked the energy. She could see the potential. And we were signed to Solar Records just that fast.
Wow.
Our producers were Lakeside with Otis Stokes and Stephen Shockley. The president of the company, Dick Griffey, signed us up immediately. I mean, they knew we had some work to do, some growing to do, but they believed in an all-female band called Climax.
What a story. You probably told it a million times. You know what I mean? But thank you, because I asked the question for the story because we're talking about how Climax, others, like I said, I was talking to Jay King. I got him on record. I got to put his piece out too. But, we're talking about the music and musicians from the West Coast that sparked a big movement and also helped to segue what hip hop is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On the sound, from the disco to the breakdancing to the more aggressive, East Coast hip hop, old school, in the West Coast pops in, you know what I mean? And what? That had to be you.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard the bell. I'm like, I thought I turned my ringer off.
It's like right now everybody decides to blow my phone up. I need to have an app that says, I'm doing an interview. Stop calling. Stop.
Oh, they're getting me too, though. They're getting me too. My calendar blocks me off as busy. I'm not supposed to be getting notifications. I thought I was on Do Not Disturb, but I had to figure it out. I don't like whoever did that to me. You just blew my train of thought.
Oh, sorry.
I'm superannuated. You dinging the bell while we in the middle of the conversation.
I don't know how to turn it off.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. LACC. Shout out to LACC. Some amazing people have come out of LACC.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get its credit the way it should, but I ask everybody who went to college, and I'm from South Central. I'm from down that way. You feel me?
I'm a Shaw dog. So.
Oh well, I'm from the one way. You feel me? Okay. So yeah, South Central baby. Anyway, West Side of Run. Yeah, any old school ones. Yeah, in my Dodge Dart and my Pinto. All
Oh,
right.
oh,
You
hey,
remember the hatchback? My God. Hey, and the smog certificates you could go buy for $50 over there off Imperial Highway. Shout out to the smog station. Anyway, I just memories. We just talking about memories. Uh LA life culture, LA culture is just like so different. So LACC, when musicians came out there and creatives came out, filmmakers, et cetera, came out there, you know, oftentimes the presentation of those creatives was a shock to other people at how you're able to deliver different timbres, nuances that they couldn't imagine
Mhm.
because, West Coast lifestyle versus that hustle and bustle, don't have time for nobody lifestyle, crunching things together. Our sounds were more stretched out, more
Ah,
relaxed, more elongated, you know?
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for somebody who doesn't know how to do music, that's okay. Okay.
But you know what? I went to Full Sail University and took music business, and part of
Yeah.
that was music
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
And then my mother was a concert pianist. I never mentioned that. And
That small detail,
yeah, I
okay.
was raised up in the concert halls with Mozart, Chopin, and
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So you missed that part. Okay. Oh, okay.
yeah. But it's not about me because I can't play a lick now. I
Yeah,
can't.
but you can at least understand it or appreciate it, or you at least know what a piano is or a bass or
Yeah, and I have tried my hand at clarinet.
yeah. See, you
I
know what
have
a wind instrument is versus a brass instrument. I mean,
right. My mother did that to me though. She
uh-huh.
hated me. Why couldn't I have a saxophone? The cool instrument was the saxophone in my day, not a brother with a clarinet. How many dates I didn't get? He played a clarinet.
Oh my
He
gosh.
don't even have a real instrument.
Oh, oh, it wasn't that far. But okay, they
Well,
didn't know that part.
you know
They didn't
what?
know
We
that.
weren't into jazz at that time. Like kids my age, I wasn't listening to jazz and understanding, what the contributions of that instrument were to
Uh-huh.
those arrangements. We
Okay.
weren't thinking about that,
Okay.
We
Okay.
wanted to hear Earth, Wind, and Fire, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, she messed me up. But the saxophone, mom, well,
And, and the,
traumatized,
the bigger the
traumatized.
better. You can't do an alto sax. You got to do a tenor sax.
Yeah, so cool sax, that it can't be squeaky, gotta have a little bass to it. Anyway, uh, so what early on, things have changed, of course, now in the digital age and the streaming age, but in the days of DAT tapes, 1 inch, quarter inch, etc., the analog boards, etc., you know what I mean? That era, the business was different.
Mhm.
As started to ride the elevator to the penthouse, going from the streets to the suites. You're college educated with a degree. I can't really say streets to the suites. You know what I mean? Like, but as you started becoming more involved, can you tell me what was the biggest surprise for you about the business part of the music business once you signed with Solar? There's some history behind Solar and a lot of LA distributors, but Solar was very effective.
Yes. Yes. I think the biggest lesson going into it was that just because you have a record deal doesn't mean you have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because my thought, and remember now, I hung around with, professional, successful jazz musicians. So I didn't know there were financial fluctuations, I guess I could say.
Right.
So I believed at that time that once you sign a record deal, you've made it. You don't have to have a job. You're a recording artist. So, like I said, I had a job at a bank. I was, supervisor at the bank too. And when I signed the deal, I quit the bank. And then realized I got some bills to pay. I mean, I might be living at home, but I still got bills to pay.
Right.
And so, luckily, because the university had already written my script, I was able to, find a steady temp job that would adhere to my musical schedule and still be able to sustain myself. But my point is, the hardest lesson was, it's like you have to grow into the industry at that time. I can't speak for how it is now, but at that time, you had to grow as an artist. You got your single out, you got your album out, it's got to grow in popularity. People have to like it, buy it. And from there, you grow into going on tour and, your income starts to generate that way. I hadn't learned that lesson yet. So that was, I don't want to say my hardest lesson, but that was like the first, oh my gosh, I had no idea, because no one told me about the workings of the recording industry. The music industry, live entertainment, yes, I had many teachers, but to actually get into the recording aspect and all these sacrifices that were entailed, no one gave me the 411 on that.
They were trying to take advantage, and that's my opinion. Take advantage, and if you don't know what questions to ask, oftentimes
you're right. Yeah.
You will get messed over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Again, the script of my life, I was able to sustain myself, because what a lot of people don't realize is that the success of Meeting in the Ladies' Room album, that was our third album.
Really?
Technically, it was our fourth, but the one in between, the second and the third, didn't really release. So, Meeting in the Ladies' Room is, kind of our third album. So Solar still sustaining us, or having us be signed to them, even though our first two albums weren't successful. They didn't drop us. They, they, I hate to use the word groom. They taught us. They taught us.
You can't use it.
Just like that has a bad connotation.
Artist development.
They educated us. How is that? To the workings of, the music industry, how to go into the studio, how to write, how to produce, how to package, how to present. And when I say present, your interviews, your way of dress, your way of talking, your live performances, just that whole presentation of the package and the product, because at that point you are a product. That's real. Yeah, you're a recording artist, but you are a product.
You don't mind these green beans.
I have signed you.
Yeah. On the shelf at Kroger.
Right, exactly. So, I have to say, Solar, they did not drop us. They still believed in us. And, it took for them to change distributors and, create this new label called Constellation, that at that time we were the only artist on, and was distributed by MCA Records, Universal MCA Records. And they saw an all-female band and loved the idea and put the machinery behind us to be seen, marketable, and also timeline-wise, and the script of my life, video was popular when Meeting in the Ladies' Room came out. It dropped into that year. So now people can see, wow, it's an all-female band talking about meeting in the ladies' room, and the men all pause.
Ah, when she walk into the room, I cannot lie. That was me too. I'm sorry. Hell yeah. That was like a defining look. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say this. Like I tried my hand during a break your service, right? At breaking and popping. I couldn't break. I couldn't top rock and I couldn't do groundwork, right? So I stuck with popping and I tried to get into the little double tick, baby tick stuff. That was my thing before they called it animatronics, right? Now they call it animatronics. But uh it was really baby ticks, just in sequence, long, right? So I was trying. Then I saw breaking and taco. And then here comes meeting in the ladies' room. So the film helped him get to you, and then that video popped off, meeting in the ladies' room, because that was I've been trying to get that chest. I couldn't do it, not limber enough. And I never could make that face that he made. Rest in peace, Taco. Amazing pioneer
Yeah.
in the breaking community and the
Yes.
b-boy community.
Yes.
Um, so how did he get to you, or did y'all get to him, or was it the machine that pulled it together?
I think it was a machine, but I don't have the details, so I really can't, say
Okay.
how that happened.
Okay.
I do remember filming it and all of the attention he was getting. At that time, I was unaware of who he
Right.
was, but
Right.
it was interesting all the attention he was getting, and we're like, well, we're the artist, we're the star. Why is he getting so much attention?
Was he took over in breaking.
Yeah.
It became, the Turbo and Taco show. Shout out to Shabadoo, bruh. Wasn't
Yep.
nobody into locking like that though. After Fred buried, that was it.
Oh.
Hey, just saying.
Yeah.
These, but these are leaders. These are people who,
Yeah.
presented different forms. So it came off, was great. It was like the first, and it looked like such a huge production. You know what I mean? Because of the scene changes and the smoke and you know, be, it was fun. And that's when, y'all know my age. Y'all remember Video Music Box, right? You had to dial in, put in the video number, and wait after everybody else video played so yours could pop up on the TV screen. Shout out Ralph McDaniels out there in New York for Video Music Jukebox. That was his joint. I spent money watching music videos. It was so new,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because look, we were coming out of beta. We hadn't VHS was just hitting. People like, oh, they're so big.
Yeah.
But beta was so hard to get, it was more expensive, and they were
Yeah.
changing to VHS, right? So, you go to what was it? Safeway, Kroger, whatever, you go rent the VCR machines that had the beta side, had the VH, and then the laser disc came out. What? Y'all don't remember. Y'all remember. We talk about way back when artists actually did like in stores.
Oh
When
gosh, yes.
you
Yes.
know, you'll be down
Yes.
there at VIP Records in Long Beach.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You'll
Yes.
be at Virgin over there on
Yes.
Sunset in the big yellow building.
Yes. Yes. There was even
Warehouse Records.
was it warehouse? What was right on La Brea and Coliseum or something?
Yeah,
I
that was a
know.
warehouse.
Okay, so that building, because it's kind of near where I live. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it would be normal for me to pass it all the time. Uh, and our album was on that wall. It seemed like forever.
Right.
It, driving by and seeing my pictures, like it was like unbelievable. Like, oh my God, that's me. Nobody else in this other car knows that that's me.
Well, that's okay.
That's me. And even get out and go look at it up close. Still, nobody knows that that's me. I'm looking at.
Did you take a lot of pictures? Did you art? Did you?
I don't know. Cameras and pictures weren't as prevalent then.
Yeah.
Because film was so expensive to develop and stuff. I do regret not having more pictures. I mean, sure, there's some pictures I took, but It wasn't like you had one in your pocket like you do now. But I just remember seeing that billboard. I mean, I don't know if they deliberately kept it up for a long time, but it was up for a very long time.
You
And it
you
just, you know, looking at it was like, wow, that's really me. I really made it, you know. And I have to say, I'm sorry, even as of today, there are still times when I have to say, oh, yeah, that is happening. That did happen. I am dot, dot, dot. Because sometimes it, you know, it's such a massive dream that it feels like it's still a dream. That makes sense. And you know, people around me be like, God, you know, you're an icon. It's like, oh, 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 okay. It just, I don't want to say it hasn't sinked in, but I don't know. It's almost like breathing because that's how much of it in my core it is. You know, you don't walk around going, oh, I'm breathing. You know,
silly.
you just
Listen
are
to
it.
that.
Breathing.
Oh God.
And not,
Oh.
and I'm hoping that your viewers and listeners don't take it in a, that I'm saying it in an egotistical way. I'm not. I'm saying it is almost like it's so woven into my core that it's not like it's something I have to go, hey, guess who I am? I am just that person.
Right.
You know, people around me are like, you know, you should tell them who you are. Okay. Well, who do you think I am? Because I'm just me inside.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's, I don't want to get off track, but when you are an achiever and you do it at an elite level, as you do, people on the outside who are with you want, they call it cloud chasing, but it's not, you know, with all the vitriol and nastiness that these youngsters, babies raising babies, you know, they use. You know, when people wanted to get at you back when I was coming up, it was a little more cerebral. Rappers use metaphors instead of telling you straight out. Women, you know, were crafty.
I know, I know, I know.
Women were crafty. Look, I was raised with a mother and 9 sisters. I had,
Woo!
oh shit, I was blessed. All my sisters had friends. All my sisters had friends. They could cook. I mean, I was spoiled, but you know, I was the only boy,
Yeah.
and I was a mama's boy, and I would, you know, spend the summers washing my mother's towels in her shop and sweeping the hair off the floor.
Oh,
I hung out. I was the DJ in the beauty shop, hanging out. I was raised around women, so most of the people who have had a huge impact in my life have been female.
Sure. Sure.
Including yourself, whom you didn't even know. She didn't recognize me, and I don't blame her. She meet a million people, but really, like, yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go into my boxes because I saved that press kit.
Okay.
I still have that press kit for that album, and I'm going to add it at some point. It'll be a "see, I told you" post, right?
You know, I have to say that I actually still have a copy of the original press kit that we sent out to Solar Records.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you keep things like that because it was a significant part of the journey.
Right. Speaking of the journey, we're talking about longevity. You're the final member of Climax. I don't get into the breakup part. I will let you lead me through that conversation. I remember when I first met you and we talked about that press kit because you handed it to me personally. You know, that was not something that we had in the conversation. And as we were pushing that album, I was a young buck trying to make it. I was latching on to every star that came through Hollywood Park. because I'm running the club. I get to talk to people. That was the cool part.
Right.
Right. You work for a celebrity, you're running his club, and the celebrities are coming in. You go, what? I get to talk to Uncle Charlie? There's Uncle Charlie? Oh my God. There's Cheryl Cooley from Climax? Oh, Morris Day? What? I had a good upbringing in the industry.
Yeah.
I built sets, I hung lights, I gaffed, got to be in a rehearsal with Tina Marie.
Oh, see?
I was pushing that trunk. She says, hi, baby. Excuse me. Let me hold that door for you. Thank you. You're so sweet. And she went in and tore the whole rehearsal hall down. She went from this timid thing to this, everybody getting hit. She was amazing, right? I think it was a Stevie Wonder. Does he still do that House Full of Toys concert that he used to do in
I
LA?
haven't heard about that for a while. Now that you mentioned, I forgot all about that. Wow.
Yeah, that was where I got a chance to meet a lot of people. So anyway, but for you, the longevity and being the representative for the Climax brand over, okay, so I met you over 20 years ago. So 20, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever. We'll do it like that, right? And then when you sit back, and earlier you were explaining, it hasn't really fully marinated, even after all this time, the impact that you personally made and in the group made that has reflections and benefits today, So when you look at it and you go, longevity, making forever music, when you think about it, what is like one of your biggest goosebump moments when you review?
That every time I get on stage as of today, there is still an audience that still wants to hear Meeting in the Ladies' Room, I Miss You, and the Menopause. As of today, we're talking a few decades later, they still want to hear those songs. To me, that is the most rewarding, that those people use their hard-earned money to buy a ticket to come and see Climax, Cheryl Cooley, the Menopause, Meeting in the Ladies' Room, I Miss You, Sexy Divas, all those songs that we recorded. That is the most shining moment to me, even if it only lasts for 20 minutes. Because we, more than likely our show is only going to be between 20 minutes and 45 minutes.
Okay.
That moment is worth all that has ever had to come in and across my life, both positive and negative. I can still do that today. I can still do that today. And even as we speak, in 2 days, I'm going to be on the stage doing it again.
I was looking at a recent post for you, and I actually commented, still rocking crowds. My allergies was kind of acting up because I was thinking about, everybody has their era. When, things made a difference to you, you had these moments, these Polaroids that are stuck in your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody don't have to know about Polaroid. Shoot it shoots back at you. You take it, you shake it, you flip it upside down, snap it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, it's about to be a picture. And it's the Polaroid.
Why am I talking to you?
I'm sorry. Is this a bad conversation? Do you want me to change tack?
You are so funny.
Okay. You know what? They told me that you had, and I'm really honored because we started working on this conversation back in July.
Oh, wow.
So you were prepping for BET appearance. And you know, your team's like, look, your schedule, her schedule is not matching.
I know.
She's been away for a while. She wants to tell her story. You'll be her first interview. I'm like, if I miss this first interview exclusive, coming to LA is gonna be a problem. Somebody gonna owe me like a whole bucket of oxtails to make up for me missing out being first. You're like, you don't give me a Cheryl Cooley exclusive before everybody else,
Oh my
and
gosh.
we can't make it happen. What you mean? She could hit me from the green room at BET. Let's get it in. I, I was jazzed. I'm like, you have no
Wow.
idea, you know, not dreaming that I would be in the media at this level, not knowing that I would make it home from my career. No, I retired from the military in 2013, and I've been deployed a lot. So, and I'm not a desk jockey. So, not knowing, and to be able to come back and go, you know what? I'm retired from that. I'm great. Hey, making money when you sleep is good. It's cool. I've retired from that and I get to do what I love. This is my dream. So when you were talking about earlier, just knowing, like, I'm doing everything I can to mess this up. And the universe has said, no, let me just drag you on to your purpose.
Yeah. Yes.
So you
Yes.
met your purpose, whether
Yes.
you were fighting against it or not. Climax
Yes.
was your
Exactly.
mission, was your purpose.
Yeah.
And deeper than just the climax, having the fun, and all that good stuff, and having like pure music,
Yeah.
pure creativity, not the manufactured stuff that's being delivered from people in suits who don't even, they couldn't play a Venetian waltz or anything, or
Oh my God.
I can't either. I'm talking trash.
That shows that you are inundated with classical music. I wouldn't even have thought of that.
I love it. I love it. I like, listening to the dang on Mormon, the Tabernacle Choir with the bells
Woo!
when they do the bells.
How you talking my language? So we okay. Come
You feel
on.
me? Yeah, we got along well when we met. I was younger, I was eager. You settled me down. You said, okay, I'm gonna give you a shot. Here's my press kit. Do what you could do. I was like, man, I got Cheryl Cooley's number.
Oh, you know what? And I still got the same number.
I don't. I don't. I swear, I'm like, I would, when I said, like, I have lost many phones and had to.
Well, let me just say this. I've only had 3 addresses in my lifetime. That should tell you.
Stable.
She's got the same number. I still got the same number from the Climax days.
Wait. She got her rotary dial number.
It's not rotary, but it started that way.
Okay, it was the push button one?
Yes.
From the, oh my God. Two-way. Did you have a two-way? Was it Motorola or was it Skyway?
Motorola.
Yeah. I had the Motorola two-way pager. Y'all Skyway people. Anyway, yeah. So what has been, okay, I'm just gonna get to it because you're here to tell your story. What happened? Why you take the break? You didn't fall off, you just stepped out and said bye.
So one thing I have to say is, Climax lasted from January 1981 to August of 1990. I remember that day in August of 1990 when I got a phone call from our then management. And the guy on the other line said, "You no longer have a contract with MCA Records. Have a nice day." Click. The 90s had come in. Being in a live band was no longer popular. It was about singing to the track and doing the dances. Being a live band was not popular. I mean, you can correct me, but I really think at that time, maybe even now, I don't know, the last R&B live band was Mint Condition in the 90s. Everybody else was singing the track.
Yeah, R&B now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, R&B. Yes, yes, yeah.
Because the Gap Man was doing their thing, and
yeah, I mean, rock is always going to have live instruments. That's just what
yeah,
they.
yeah,
But
yeah,
as far as R&B, it's
yeah.
about the dancing and singing out of breath. It's not about playing an arpeggio on a guitar or piano or a saxophone.
Saxophone. I didn't get my Christmas.
So the music had changed. And so once I got that phone call, I remember falling to the floor with my spiked hair,
Uh-huh,
falling to the floor and crying because it's like, what do I do now in life? That was everything of my life energy to be a professional musician. What possibly could my life mean now? Maybe it's time that I'm going to get checked out. Maybe that was it. So I'm devastated, and by that time, three of the girls in the band had gone on to do their solo careers or whatever they had chose to do. So there was only three of us left. And the other two, there was no support system or anything. It was like, well, what do I do? And the back story part is, I was treasurer of the band, and we were supposed to go on tour with Barry White at the time. And so I had allocated all of this money to get ready for this tour. So when we got snatched from the record company, the bills were due. And there was no money. So my mom, she had to borrow money off of her house to give me the money to pay these bills off. So again, I'm no band, no money, no idea of what's next. What am I gonna do? I just happened to be having a repair on my house that day, and I was telling the contractor my woes and all of these things. He said one statement to me that was the connection, but I didn't know at the time, that I was going to need to make the next step. He said, well, why don't you be an electrician? I thought, well, it's wires, like in music.
Right.
Well, why not?
Why not? She said, it's wires, let's go.
Right. Because, of course, he's telling me, out of all the construction trades, that's probably the least strenuous to do, right?
Yeah.
So, again, the powers that be laid things out in my life so that I wound up going to a women's program that guided me to a work and go to school program to learn how to be an electrician.
Okay.
So I did that, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, I don't know how many years, to the point where I became a journeyman. Then there's another story to that, because once I became a journeyman and having to tell guys what to do, there sometimes was not appreciated.
Yeah.
But I happened to work for a contractor that was a mom and pop kind of thing. It was like, you ain't getting rid of Cheryl Cooley. Next.
Right. It's not happening. Right.
So I did that for a while, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I guess this is what I'm going to retire doing, But it was electrical construction. When people don't realize I had to wear a hard hat, a tool belt, and swing a hammer.
Wow.
I got to swing a hammer. Yeah. And I'm learning all these things about, how wires go, how the guys build things for the wires, and how things, walls and cement. I'm seeing all this and just being absorbed, and I don't know at that time that I'm going to need this information.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Things kind of got slowed down. Something political happened, and I got laid off.
Okay.
So I was like, what do I do in life now? It doesn't look like I'm going to retire, be an electrician. What am I going to do? So I started thinking about, going back to music because I hadn't played guitar. I was so devastated about not being, in music anymore. I really stopped playing for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, I guess. And my guitar was like a piece of furniture, and I would walk by it very quickly. So
Ah,
I
running.
didn't have to confront it. So I started, with the idea of, putting a band together. That's when I ran into that band I told you that I was playing with, and the guy put his, that was all that time period. So, I'm kind of trying to get into this, and I'm enjoying playing. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. And all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, the phone rang. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Cheryl, if you put the girls together, I'll get you guys on some old school tours. What? What is that?
It was an old school tour. Yeah.
Right. So again, remember I said I've only had 3 addresses in my lifetime, and that phone number was still the same. So I was called because of that connection. I figure, well, the girls got your number, you got the girl, somebody, they know how to get in contact with her. So I called, each girl in the band, hey, what do you think about this? And I got these excuses. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I got too many kids. Ain't nobody going to see a bunch of old middle-aged women up on stage. I don't think it's going to work. But the burning desire to do music again all of a sudden sparked. And there were a couple that say absolutely no. So we decided to have auditions to see if we could get them replaced. But things didn't look the way they did in the 80s, and the other girls, I think, got discouraged. So I wound up being the only man standing. But I kept going because I was thinking, if they see that I'm determined and we start getting shows, then maybe they'll come back and say, oh, okay, it's going to work. Let me jump on board. But that's not what happened.
Oh, they want to fight over the name and who did what and all the history. Instead of just getting better, let's make this bread.
Right.
The fun we used to have,
right.
Look, that's just dumb. I apologize for using that. It's not a political term. I'm not politically correct.
Oh, God.
And never will be. I'm going to say that was dumb.
Oh, no.
But true. I have made some dumb moves too. Like looked at stuff that I knew would work, but I didn't. I just say I was petty. Let's just put it that way. I just didn't want to work because the other person was gonna make it work. I didn't want no part. Can I interrupt something? I promise not to have too many fanboys.
That's okay.
She said she has had the same phone number forever, right? I never had the phone number. However, I just pulled up my contacts. May I show you?
Sure.
Do you still have?
I can't see the number, but
no, there's no phone number. But yeah. Who uses packbell.net and MSN? Ain't nobody heard of MSN.
I still use Packbell. I do have a Gmail. I'll give that to you. But yes, that is my.
No, it's fine. This is my proof.
Yeah.
This Cheryl Cooley is in my phone.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
It says musician, climax.com, Cheryl Cooley.
That's me.
Yeah, Packbell. Do you know how old the packbell.net is? MSN.com. They don't even exist anymore. I'm legit, y'all. The legend. Right there. Yeah. Okay. I had to break it in because they be like, you don't know.
Well, send me an email with all your contact info. I'll give you all the rest of it.
Okay. I love you. I love your work. And I love what you've done, in keeping the Climax brand going. I'm going to leave this open so I can do that. I'm
honored that I'm still in your phone though.
Yeah. And I have had like 3 or 4 different phones because I lose them. But the updates, because this was it was in my Google.
Oh,
So Google stays forever. And when you log in, bang, and import your contacts, I'm like, I got some people in this phone. I ain't gonna tell you. I got the folks. Yeah. But Cheryl, to have that proof, I couldn't pull out the press kit. I'll have to go to storage, but I'm going to go get that joker out the box What it do? Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm just happy. And it's what's going on next? 2024. Do we have a new project coming? Something that you're, wanting to have fun with? What's up?
Well, we did put out a couple of new singles, I think 2016, 17. People were asking for things, let's hit the music, and of course the distribution era is much different nowadays. So, on the website there's a couple of new things. Matter of fact, there's even a Christmas song I need to be putting up on, you know.
See,
But live music, oh, being a performer, being on stage, that is just what resonates for me. And I'm still getting booked, still getting on stage. Right now, going into 2024, I've got, one show a month so far. Um, People still book me, show up, get on the plane, get a suitcase, get to the hotel, get to the venue, get back on the plane. It doesn't stop for me. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm
that's
saying it,
beautiful.
yes, that's what I live for.
That
You
is beautiful.
And I'm grateful that people still, want to see the Climax legacy. They want to still hear the music. They want to, whether they're reminiscing about what their life was back then, or they're brand new listeners and it's like, hey, I like that kind of music. Or you hear the stories about, I just don't like what's out now. I like the old stuff, I mean, it's story after story after story. And like I said, I'm grateful that they're spending their hard-earned money to come and see the same song that's been played for this many years.
Yeah.
So yes, I know I have to put out something new because I got a distribution deal.
Yay.
I got a distribution deal that I gotta use, and they're being very patient, and a lot of it really is working through my own stuff,
Okay. Okay.
because I think as an artist, you always think is never good enough. There's some part of you that's like, well, I think I'll try something else. A lot of artists go through that, and uh, I think that's where I am. But again, I'm having a ball doing the live stuff.
Okay.
And though it may be the same chords, the same this, and I mean, what the audience doesn't know is I'm playing around with it. I may not be playing right in the center of the beat, but I'm
Right.
playing that millisecond right after, that millisecond right before, just kind of playing around with it for my own fun.
Right. Are you pulling a Maceo Parker kind of experimenting with the beats? Are we gonna hit on the one or we gonna hit on the three? Maybe on the two sometimes. I don't know. Miles used to play.
Oh,
You in there doing some Miles Davis. I feel you. And nobody's paying attention because they go,
right.
they going what they know,
Right.
and you're doing your thing and you're having a blast.
They
Watching
still
them have a
sing the
blast.
chorus. Yeah, they still say, as long as they hear the chorus, then they're okay with it.
Because that's what they're gonna sing anyway. Everybody loud, tears, drunk, all them Mai Tais. Somebody miss you. Drunk, in tears. They're so wonderful. I'm so happy that they're here playing. You look, it's okay. I've had some of the drunk moments, and I don't listen to Young Thug when I need to reconnect with me. I'm not listening to, I don't want to steal from Steve Harvey, but I'm not listening to Shoot 'em Up Bang Bang. I'm back, at meeting in the ladies' room. I apply I miss you to my, mother, rest in peace. Because that's, you know, we were at peace with that music. That music meant something. It added value to our day. This is something I feel, that is being ignored by the suits and the bean counters. You know, people connect with music. They can be, you know, just like a bad speech on the Washington Mall can create a violent insurrection.
Oh, ouch.
Music could soothe what ails you. And if you remember, as I do, you know, maybe I was sitting in the barracks at Fort Lewis, you know, when I'm listening to One Way, and here comes Climax, and then, you know, I'm like, look, or actually listening to Confunction live at a park, play live, you know, as a kid.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve 2000, Earth, Wind and Fire, Rick James, everybody's in Atlanta for one concert. Music that meant something, forever music that stays.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
Well, when music touches a human emotion, that human is forever trying to relive that emotion.
Can't get that first hit, y'all, again.
You know, we're emotional beings. We're trying to get to that feeling, I don't know, that feeling good. Whatever that makes us feel good, that song, that dance, that piece of clothing, that piece of art. You know, our business is music, so we gravitate, resonate with people who listen to music to relive that feeling, that memory, that whatever it was that that song regurgitates into them.
Okay.
And music transcends so many things, so many things, so many things, more things than we can even name. I mean, after all, you turn on the TV, you hear music. It ain't got nothing to do with music, but you're looking at a commercial that's selling water. Going to the grocery stores, they got music playing because they know music will ignite something to make you buy more. Your elevator, you're hearing music because they know that that will ease, soothe, or whatever they're trying to get you to be. You know, you go into the doctor's office, you're listening to music, you know, they're trying to calm you down because you're getting ready to get a 12-inch needle somewhere.
You heard me? Yeah.
You know, they use music in so many things to, I'm going to use the word agitate some sort of emotion, reaction from us as humans. So music will always serve some purpose. Whether it be good or bad, it's still going to serve some purpose. Whether we're aware of it or not, it's going to serve some purpose. Whether we play it or somebody else plays it, it's going to serve some purpose. It will always be there. Now, will the style change? The words change? The chord structure change? Yes, maybe. But somebody, somewhere, somehow is going to appreciate. I got a meeting in the ladies' room.
Be back real soon. What?
I mean, that's what internet music is about. I mean,
yeah.
No longer are we depending on the large music companies to say, yes, this is going to go, this is not going to go. People are independently putting music out that other people like. That's what makes us put music on the internet. Is it good? Is it bad? I mean, there's many different opinions of it. I mean, after our good friend, Mr. Bill Clinton, deregularized the music industry, entertainment industry, and everything started going independent, was it a good or bad thing? Well, there's no gatekeepers anymore. You know, you could throw chains up against the wall and make a sound, and somebody's paying out money to duplicate that sound.
It's, it's wild.
Yeah.
You know,
And unfortunately, you know, a lot of governments have taken music out of the schools. So there's
No,
a whole generation or more that musicians are non-existent. So here
they
we are.
took out the music programs and the arts programs and put in more trade programs.
Yeah.
Then the prison industrial complex adds more contracts, produce more products based on the trades that were taught in elementary, middle school, and high school. Yeah, I know. You know, it's true. Girl, you know, it's
Now,
true.
do you know this recording thing has changed up here? This Zoom
Yes,
thing now?
ma'am.
Okay.
So the AI was making meeting notes. I talk too long and it only will record a meeting for an hour. I
Okay.
have an unlimited account and I haven't been trying to rein this in. I have been enjoying the conversation because I didn't want to do an interview. I wanted to have a conversation with Cheryl Cooley. And I'm selfishly dragging this shit out. So like I don't want to let her go. I like
I'm still here.
okay, I see it. I see it. I appreciate it, but I gotta respect your time. I do, and I'm gonna get to it. So we've talked about your absence, the choice, and then
I'm sorry, let me just add one thing that I forgot to say about the electrician part.
yeah,
So it may sound like I went away from the path,
uh,
but I needed those skills to know how to build my own rehearsal room on my house.
oh wow, okay,
So that as of today, we rehearse at that studio built on my house. So again, it was part of the plan. So we got a bar, a
that's what I'm
disco
talking about.
ball, a sound system, a couch to just chill out.
Right, right. Speaking of chilling, what has been the most interesting or crazy song creation moment or inspiration that you can recall?
Okay, so the song Menopause. So
Okay.
we're in rehearsal, we're going at it, we're going and going. I mean, you know, we're getting sweaty, we're trying to get this part, we're trying to get this show, you know, and all of a sudden one of the girls go, whew, I, I think I'm going into menopause and I'm sweating like crazy up in here. And we thought, oh wow, that'd be a great idea for a song, menopause. But you know, we're in our 20s or whatever. We don't know anything about menopause. So somebody said, hey, maybe we should change it to the men all pause.
Oh wow, I never heard that story. Menopause. That's crazy, man. All part.
Okay, another story. So,
Yeah, holla.
Midnight Star is on the same label, Solar.
Uh,
One of the guys is at a club with his girlfriend. They're having a good time, and one of the girls from Climax sees him, and he's all excited and everything, and runs over to him and hugs and kisses him. Hey, how you doing? The girlfriend doesn't know who she is. She's getting pissed because this woman is all over her man. So she like gets up from the table and goes to the ladies' room. And he thought, oh, what an idea for a song meeting in the ladies' room.
he said that to you. Wow. And those are WTFs. Those are crazy song creation moments. Those are historical moments that we now have. I don't know if you've told how many times you've told that, but you told it to me. And guess what I'm going to do with it? The internet is undefeated.
Oh gosh.
I have some of the finest creatives in the land. They're going to use that one. They'll get, but we will license your music and make sure that you get paid. So the what? Speaking of that, now you have a distribution deal. You're indie. You're getting first count on your money. You know what I mean? Um, Talk to me about the difference in doing business as an indie versus, with the machine, as far as creativity, decision making, etc.
Um, somebody else making decisions, somebody else being in office to, collect the money, distribute the money. I don't know if it's because of time, age, experience, but I'm lazy. I'd rather somebody else do it. You want a few extra dollars for doing it? Here, go do it, because I got things to do.
Right.
And they had the expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like you got to learn the business every 6 months because something's different.
Tell you, man. I just bought 2 AI packages today, 2 software packages. I'm like, I got to streamline this workflow process because it's crazy.
Yeah. And a year from now, it's going to be different again. 2 years from now, 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Classically trained, degree in music, started at a young age, took the leap of faith, kicked the door in. They gave you the opportunity and you said, no, I don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna come. All right. Thousands of sounds, hundreds of songs. Are you still in love with music, or can you do the consumer thing without being analytical?
No.
So it's been ruined for you, kind of.
Music comes from here for me.
Okay.
To make it mechanical where the beat is always in the same place at the same time. I mean, I'm not saying we don't use that with a metronome, but when it comes to creativity, sometimes that beat gets kind of, because you got to put a little more on it,
Yeah.
That's not.
Okay. Episcopalian versus Baptist. I got you.
Ouch!
What? Just saying. That's just me. I am not politically correct. I am not against religion or anything like that, but I've been around and I've seen stylizations.
I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there.
That's like Pat Boone singing Tutti Frutti.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, Pat Boone singing Tutti Frutti. That was a party foul.
Is he still talking?
So I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Is there, you've been interviewed over the years by pretty much, I'm gonna use this phrase again, everybody, they cat, uncle, and dog. Is there a question that we as journalists have failed to address that you've always wanted to touch on, something that we neglect in our selfish line of questioning?
Nothing that comes up. That's a hard one.
It's okay. Can I get you back again? I get your commitment to come back again? Okay.
I've been asked every question under the book. I always say, it's like my life is an open book. I know I shouldn't say that, but it's like I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything that, you want to talk about the bad stuff happens. Well, how did I triumph from that? How did I recover from that? You want to talk about the good stuff? Well, okay, the good stuff, and how did I enjoy that? Or how did I make that more? All those questions have been asked. I can't think of anything that, if anything, my biggest fear in any interview is that someone will find something boring about how or what I'm talking about. Like sometimes I forget to tell about the electrician part because it played a part in the music part. And I'm thinking I don't want to hear about that. I just want to hear about the music part. That plays in my head all the time.
Really?
Yeah. One thing I love to do is I love to laugh. And when I do an interview, I warn the interviewer, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to make fun of myself. I'm going to make fun of the industry. I'm going to make fun of you if I can.
Right.
I want to warn them of that because I've had an interviewer say to me, you laugh too much. Well, I tell you right away, this is who I am. why be so solemn and dreary? Because it bothers me to hear an interview from an artist and they're like, yeah, well, man, me and Lil Pookie, well, yeah, yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Make it colorful. Give me some up and down inflections of your voice. Make
Yeah,
me want to hear what you're saying as opposed to trying to put my ear to the hearing the speaker saying, what is he saying?
yeah. I I started out badly. Yeah, I mean, as an interviewer. Talk about pressure. My very first real interview was for Yahoo, and it was Chuck D during Brooklyn Day.
Oh, wow.
Who the hell does their first interview with Chuck D? How do you just throw me into that?
Well,
He was very patient, kind, gracious. We got
okay.
disconnected. He was coming out of the Castaic Mountains in New York, wherever he was coming down, headed into Brooklyn, lost. He called me back.
Yeah, sure.
He wanted to talk to me. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This transition, this second chance at life for me in the media has been, and I swore that I wouldn't get into the beef, I wouldn't get into the drama, I don't do gossip. You'll not find that on anything that we write or on any of our platforms. And we don't acknowledge that kind of stuff. So, I've always just, wanted to know, hell, were you homeless? Did you ever, were you a nomad? Did you sleep in unfinished houses with plastic walls ever in your life? What was your struggle meal when you were in college? LACC. Everybody, you didn't go to UCLA, you didn't go to USC, you went to LACC. Best community college in the nation that I know of, besides East LA. East LA Community College is amazing as well. They have some very amazing people that come out of there, writers specifically.
And when you pause, I'm going to tell you a little story about LACC, but go on.
Jerry's on pause, and I'm waiting on. Go ahead. I'm pausing. I literally paused. Do you hear me
I don't
sing?
want you to lose your train of thought.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So my experience at LACC, again, I'm the year that I'm there, I'm slightly older than you. The year that I was there, uh, I was the only girl, only
Mm.
black, only just only.
Wow. Bunch of firsts. Okay.
And I'm not saying there weren't, I mean, I won't say there weren't other black guys there. There were, but as far as being female, I was the only.
Mm.
I didn't know that they were trying to make me fail.
Mm.
I was too stupid to know, and I'll say it, too naive, too stupid to know that I was supposed to stumble and fail because I was so determined. And my high school teacher, bless wherever he is, he took very much time and care with me to teach me to the point where I was writing charts for the marching band for the football.
See?
So I was prepared. I already knew that going into college. I wasn't supposed to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I remember a specific time that I turned in a paper about they taught us by big band harmony at that time. And I wrote this piece where I knew what to do with it. Turned it in, and everybody turns it in. I don't know, maybe it was 12 people in there because it was a more advanced class. Mm-hmm. And the teacher plays it, and if it's good, he'll say, "Oh, this is great. This was written by Johnny Tewberry."
Nah.
And if it wasn't good, oh, well, this student shouldn't have, and maybe the next time they'll, dot, dot, dot. He gets to mine and he plays it and he goes, he doesn't read the name. He always plays the music and then reads the name. He plays the music, goes, "Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. You should be doing da, 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 just like this student here. And it's written by," okay, so let me go to the next one.
Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't say your name.
No.
Would not acknowledge you.
But again, I'm too stupid to know I'm supposed to fail. I knew my music. It was like, you don't have to say my name. You already gave me the validation I needed to know that I'm doing this right.
Mm. You went from, you got to be doing it like this student.
You're right.
I'm
And
not giving her credit
unfortunately,
for
you
that.
know, again, was it the race thing? I don't know. But most of my teachers were white males. And here's this little black girl knowing all of this. Who taught you this? Because hey, you're not supposed to know this. And yeah, I took my time at LACC. Now, I didn't finish in 2 years. I wasn't in no hurry. I wanted to learn all I could.
You know,
And that
you
was my experience. I mean, my high school teacher told me that's the best school to go to for music. That's why I went. And yes, did it give me some more knowledge? Yes. Did I have more, I don't know, weaponry, armory, getting out of high school to getting out of college with music? Yes. Did I need it when I signed a record deal? No. But, but
right.
having that knowledge, even as of today,
Mm-hmm.
I have leaned on it many, 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 many times.
Okay.
You know, can I sit down and write for a complete orchestra? I would be struggling for a minute. Do I have it somewhere in the back of my head? Yes. Do I understand it? Yes. Can I read a score? Yes. Can I read a blueprint? Yeah.
Multifaceted, multi-hyphenate,
Right.
a polymath.
Right. But, you know, sidebar, every once in a while I get called to do, play in the backup band for artists like Thelma Houston from the 70s.
Wow.
And all her music is charts. You count it, they got to start playing it. Mm-hmm. Because of all that training, yeah, I could still do that today. Maybe I'm a little rusty, yeah, but at least I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
LACC was like, I don't know, the spank, like, they even told us, all you students in here, you guys aren't going to make any music. Don't even try. But they needed you to take that class so that they could get a paycheck. But they weren't encouraging you to go, yeah, you guys should really try to do this, this, this. And I think because at that time, there was a changing of the guard, I guess you could say.
Right.
We were going from, music, Hubert Laws and them, you had to know how to read if you're going to eat, to these musicians that could just play it naturally and not have to read. So they're thinking, you guys don't have the knowledge. You guys, students, don't have the knowledge and wherewithal like we, the teachers, have to survive in this music industry. So you're not going to make it. But the times were changing, and people that didn't know how to read were making money too.
Lots of it, because they could play by feel.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying that LACC wasn't great for me, but I didn't have a good time. But again, I was too naive to know I was supposed to fail. Did I graduate? Thank God. Yes, I did. Yeah. Almost not graduate. Yeah. There was a period, a chapter in my life where I almost didn't make it because I got appendicitis and wound up having to go to the hospital. And I was in my last semester. And, I had to tell my teachers, can I do a makeup test? Because I'm in the hospital. Sure, makeup test. I was able to get my degree, even though, the universe kind of knocked me down a little bit. It was like, we got to knock you down because we need you to, get right here. And I've had dreams of not having that degree because of all of those obstacles. Did I have to put it on my wall to remind myself I made it? Yeah. And I'm grateful that I made that accomplishment because, for whatever the music, the gold records, and I got a degree.
When you talk about intrinsic feelings, of joy, shit that you're doing for yourself. That's what intrinsic means. It's for me. Care if you like it or not. It's for me. To fulfill those things, I'm looking in your eyes and you're shining, and the energy says, I'm really in love with music again. I'm doing what I do. I've taken the time to meet myself again, and we're on track. And look out, because I'm no plaything. I take it very seriously. I laugh and joke, but I'm really not playing about Cheryl Cooley. She is amazing. And we spent a lot of time on our hip hop legends, and we haven't saluted the people who helped to de develop the sound that would become global. You know, the people that we're talking to, today I'm talking to one, and just to put it in, workman's terms, talking to someone who provided tools and resources to future musicians and producers by laying all kinds of sounds, dropping cold joints. You cannot do a breakdance competition without a Climax joint or a Timex Social Club sneaking in there. You know why? Because the producers are sampling that music and keeping those sounds alive. I don't know what the business situation was with Solar, but I know when I was hanging out at Jeffy's, I'd hear musicians talking about, so and so, this, that, and the third, this, that, not being right. Then, I got a chance to talk to George Clinton, and he has a project called Flashlight 13, because of his royalties situation. And he has a whole, website. It's not slick website, but it's a truthful website. And I think that's why I asked earlier about like your biggest business surprise in the business, because he was talking about his masters. I presume the time has passed long enough, now that Solar is gone and MCA is, are they
Gone.
still, they're gone
It's
too?
universal now.
They're universal. Everything's universal now. Geffen is over there, Maverick is over there, and Warner. Okay. So do you get your rights back as the administrator for the Climax brand now? Or I know it hasn't been 70 years, the 70-year rule in there, but
Well, I mean, only thing we can legally use the name to perform. Well, I shouldn't say we. I mean, 3 of the girls signed off on it, even though they tried to continue to,
right.
But that's another chapter, another story. And I performed the fact that, I was kind of the last man standing. I have signed on the original contract. I own climax.com because originally I had asked the girls if they wanted to do it with me. So I'm really not sure how to answer that because there's so many other, I guess, legalities that I'm not savvy of.
you don't have an administrator yet.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm doing the best I can with what I have. I don't know how else to answer that.
I think you need an administrator. It's uninvited guidance, but someone to administer gathering your royalties and your money. Warner Chapel is really good. And there's some other ones, but you need an administrator to go get your money.
Yeah, sure.
They take their percentage. They don't charge you anything up front. And this is what they do. It's all they do.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, I don't want you to be, I tell my children, what I know to provide them the best. I talk to people, I teach journalists how to be journalists, and people who maybe are missing, some of the steps within the industry.
Yeah.
My business degree, was for that purpose as well. I wanted to know. And like, wow, you got all this money probably laying out here and they're using it, but there are only a couple of administrators out there, and they go do their business. So I was just putting that in there. I'll cut it out so I'm not giving you advice on screen and appearing disrespectful. No, I
we,
wish to Wish the
We
best.
siblings now, so
Oh,
hey,
we siblings now. It's all right. I'm with it. I am with it. You know, it ain't about the family you're born with. It is the family that choose you. What? Hey, look now. So I really, am honored. I'm going to phrase my earlier question in a new way. But first, I'm going to finish my LACC. What I was going to ask was, what was your favorite struggle meal during your time at LACC? For me, everybody says, "Oh, I ate ramen noodles." We didn't know nothing about no damn ramen noodles. I had bologna sandwiches. I had cream cheese and Doritos with orange crush.
Well,
what was your junk food meal?
I told you that thing about how the universe has always supported me, right?
Right.
So technically, even as of today,
Uh-oh.
I've never moved away from home.
Okay.
I've never had a struggle meal. Even though
Oh, wow.
even though my parents have passed away, I'm still where they left me. So I
Okay. Fair enough.
okay.
That's fine. I won't hold it against you. No
Okay.
problem.
That's why I was like, I will say somewhere around LACC at that time, there was a place that sold, I guess it was ramen, and there was a flavor of it, and I don't know if it was ramen because I can't find that flavor when I order ramen at a restaurant, but there is this flavor of some sort of soup, something that's sold near LACC, and I just can't, I don't know what it was called, but I cannot find that flavor.
One day a smell is going to trigger you, and it's just going to pop up. You're like, that's what it was. There you go. All right. How many times I've had that happen to me in board meetings, and people just look at you like, what the heck are you on, bro? I'm like, I just start busting out laughing because I realized how stupid I was maybe 10 years ago. And I'm sitting here and I'm listening to these people and this inane conversation that's floating back and forth. And I'm going, geez, why am I here? And then, something but I'm a Gemini. I have 36 of me. And, they make appearances whenever they get ready. I don't have control over it. I have the main character is me, but the other, 35. I just don't know where they go.
I gotta go now.
Okay, all right. Is there anything you wanted to cover that I may have neglected? I appreciate your time.
No, I mean, I just always want listeners, viewers to know that I'm very appreciative that they allow me to continue to do my music. That to me is the greatest gift of my music, is that they still come, show up, support me. I still get to do what I love and enjoy. There is no greater gift than that, other than that, but they're still a part of love. I get to do that and get to earn enough where I can eat more than ramen.
Roger that. I know that's right. I know that's right. KLYMAXX.com. KLYMAXX.com.
KLYMAXX.com.
Imagine when they came out.
Oh my gosh.
During the time, it was a shocking name.
Yeah.
They turned the industry on their ear. A lot of people followed behind what Climax did. Sometimes we have to give Sean, the forefathers aren't all men. our four parents. We have to give thanks to our four parents. You know, the culture of hip hop 50th anniversary sounds like Climax. That was part of hip hop. Popping Taco. Come on now.
Yep.
He went from breaking, crush groove breaking, men all pause, meeting in the ladies' room, Popping Taco, from big screen to a video, an impactful video that showed four women getting it in on instruments, entertaining, and turning out the party. Hip hop. You touched hip hop. It's official. They can't take it away from you. Having Papa Taco, that is your benchmark within the 50 years of hip hop. And I say it's not always the rappers. It's the sound magicians like Cheryl Cooley. It's the sequencer. No, I'm not talking about the group sequence. I'm talking about the sequencer that arranges the music, puts the sounds together. They mind map the song to take you on a journey, gives you a plenty of fun and adventure, but deposits you safely at the other end. Nobody's dying. Nobody's laying in the street, getting punched out. We're partying, having barbecues and fun, and the Soul Train line, and trying to break dance. My efforts were pathetic, but it was fun. You could just be a human being. That's what Climax music means to me, and the era. They sparked a little hip hop though. Can't take it away from her. But it was good music. It's forever music. The party's still there. It's just rocked the crowd with, I think it looked like 6,000 or 7,000 people in the venue, the small venue, look, a club venue, but a huge club venue, right? And I'm going, damn. Roger that. This is what it is, young people. When you're talking about coming up through, the industry, climbing Jacob's ladder to try and get to the upper room, you gotta lay it out in step, stages, and degrees. Make things that will stick. Don't take it for granted. And it's okay to say no to some things, even though you may get drugged in there anyway. Look what happened to Cheryl Cooley. We have Climax. The Climax that we all know, the massive energy that was Climax. Front and center, this lady. Driving force, continuing the legacy. I want to thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
She said I'm her sibling now, which means I get to invite her back.
Yes, of course.
I would love to have you maybe next year. I don't know. If you're going out on the old school tours, the Millennium tours, and Chaos One of them, they got tours and all that. I'm going to fly somewhere to see Climax. And, if I bring the press kit, when I find it, I will bring the press kit. I will be front row, be waving that joint. I need my autograph, Cheryl. I need my autograph. This is history. I need my autograph. 20 some odd years later, I know where it was. I had produced a show for the USO. And we were talking about going on a USO tour.
Oh, yes.
That's where it was.
I still haven't got on it yet.
2001, they didn't give me another shot. The NBA Entertainment League folded, right? So my sports tour was gone. We went to Korea for a week. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, wow.
I produced the USO show for the NBA. I was like, hey, would you like to do it? And yes. So we were trying to get you hooked up with the MWR and get you out on tour through the USO. Yeah, jogged my memory. I'm like, I have to pin this down. Because I didn't just work a record. I don't just work records. I make fucking moves. Thank you.
There you go.
And, the USO just happened to got messed around. Well, I end up, but it's okay. my friend, my sister, my new sister, acknowledged on public in video. Came to find me at the family reunion and at the picnics, the backyard boogie. Big brother Jerry is on his way. KLYMAXX.com. Also, Cheryl Cooley. Is it Cheryl-Cooley on Instagram, or how's that? Right. Don't make me go to Instagram right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got you.
Now you're really asking.
It's okay. You liked one of my posts, and I saved that. I'll go find it, joint.
I don't know how you Climax music, unless it's
Climax music. Okay.
I don't know how else you find that.
Going home. I'm going to the comments because I have Cheryl Cooley comments on my Instagram. Y'all I have Cheryl Cooley comments on my Instagram. Yes. Hello. Climax. And search KLYMAXX. It's Climax Music.
Yeah.
The verified account. Don't go with the other ones. This is the verified account. Don't go with the Climax Bikini Espresso backup page. It's right underneath. It's Climax Music. It's a verified account, and it has Cheryl Cooley's name right under it. Please, let's go support our big sister. Yeah, see? All right. I see.
Yeah.
You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Y'all can find it. I'll put a freeze frame on it for you.
Oh, Lord.
No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna do that because it exposes PID.
Now I gotta look for. Okay, now I gotta find you now. Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
I'm Jerry Doby _. I'm that same name everywhere.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm easy. You see my mug sitting there trying to look intelligent and shit. I was like, that's me. Okay. All right. I'm a fool. I have not changed. I have just begun to enjoy life. And I want to say thank you to iHeart Music. I want to say thank you to Dash Radio for having Hype Magazine live sessions on. Appreciate it. This will definitely be shared on the podcast sites, definitely on the iHeart and Dash Radio show next week. So thank you, Cheryl Cooley. Thank you for all you've done for music. Thank you for even speaking to me all those several decades ago. And thank you for your patience with my shenanigans. I'm not going to change, I promise. So, this is me. And until next time, Hype Magazine live sessions, Cheryl Cooley, Climax, hip hop.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Because I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Because I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.